Welcome. Good day wherever you are. Welcome. This day I want to answer a question that very many students ask about understanding chemistry and why is it difficult to understand chemistry and mathematics. Why do many students find chemistry and mathematics very difficult? Unlike physics, unlike biology. Why? This is the simple reason, the simple trick that will help you to do well and improve in mathematics and chemistry. Come, let me show you something here. When you do the analysis, you see that chemistry and mathematics are poorly performed among all the subjects in very many schools. The reason is simple. For maths, let me start with mathematics. For maths, we start from Form 1. Form 1, we have integers. This topic called integers, it is very important because all through you are going to deal with integers. So if a learner who never understood that -2 times -2, the answer is 4. That a negative times a negative is 4. This learner will get the problem and fail a simple mathematics all through to Form 4. So in mathematics, the topics in Form 1 enables you to understand topics in Form 2. You get that? Yes. The concepts in Form 1 enables you to understand the concepts in Form 2. Same thing to chemistry. In Form 1, there are topics which are very critical that you must make sure that you understand for you to understand Form 2. Are you getting that? Yes. Like now this topic, acid, base and indicators. Then air and combustion. Then water and hydrogen. Those three majorly are the foundation for you to doing well in chemistry when you are in Form 2. Now in Form 2 you will be required to write the equations. In Form 1 we write word equations. Now in Form 2, as you write the chemical equation, you need to remember in Form 1 you learned that an acid plus a base, what are the products? The product is a salt, metal salt, plus if it is an acid, it is water. So now in Form 2, you will write down now the acid, the chemical formula for the acid, the chemical formula for the base, and get the chemical formulas for the salt and water. So if you do not have this knowledge in Form 1, how will you write the chemical? How will you know that this plus this gives you that? That is the knowledge. Now let's come to Form 2. Form 2 now comes here and it is a mother of all. The first topic called the structure of the atom. The atom and its structure. This is now the mother of all. When you understand the structure of the atom, what the atom is and what it contains and how it behaves, now that solves your problem in chemistry. So if you want to understand chemistry in Form 3 and Form 4, you need to make sure you understand the structure and the atom and the structure of the atom in Form 2, Topic 1. Very important. So here we will talk about the atom, the subatomic particles, and then we will see how electrons become stable, the first 20 elements. Now you want to pass chemistry and you cannot recite, you cannot remember the first 20 elements overhead. You can't write the electron configuration. That becomes very difficult for you to understand chemistry, because chemistry you must master the first 20 elements overhead. Then you should know whenever you are the atomic number and you must know the atomic numbers of different elements. When you have an element number 12, you should know that this element is magnesium and the properties that it undergoes. That magnesium is not stable. It needs to lose 2 electrons to be stable. And you should know the reason why. If it is 2, as we write the electron configuration for magnesium, why is it magnesium cannot gain 6 electrons to be stable and it opts to lose 2 electrons to be stable? Why is it that? So those are the things you need to explain, and which has been explained very thoroughly in our KLB book. That this one requires little energy to lose 2 electrons rather than gaining 6, which requires a lot of energy. So those are the things you need to know. Now, in the first 20 elements, somebody will ask you, do you know which elements in the first 20 elements that are metals and those that are non-metals? How will you know? How will you tell the difference? Which one are metals and which one are non-metals? How do you tell? You simply write the electron configuration. If I write this electron configuration, this one is automatically a non-metal. How? If an element requires electron to be stable, if you add, like I have talked about energy here, this one requires 1 electron to be stable because we have 3 states of stability. We have 2, we have 228 and 288. These are the 3 stability that we have for electrons. So this one will require to gain 1 electron to be stable, right? Therefore, it means it is a non-metal. So those elements that requires that gain electrons to be stable, they are non-metals. And those that lose electrons to be stable, they are metals. Very important. Now here comes the mother of all, how to write a chemical equation. When you look at page 15 of KLB, page 15, it has given you a table of radicals and elements with their valences. So the most important is the table where we have the radicals. What are radicals? So examples of radicals, I'm not going to define what radicals are. I will just give you, we have a carbonate. This is a radical. So this carbonate radical here has a valence of 2 from here. You see that? Yes, it has a valence of 2. The sulfate, the nitrate, the ammonium ion. So these are radicals, some of the radicals that we commonly use. So for you to write the correct chemical formula for magnesium sulfate, you must be aware that magnesium has got a valence of 2 and the radical sulfate has got a valence of 2. When they cross, they put 2 here and another 2 here. But since these 2, they cancel out and we will have magnesium sulfate as the chemical formula for magnesium sulfate compound. Similarly, we will have I want magnesium chloride. Chloride we know is atomic number 17, so it has a negative charge. So if I wanted to have zinc chloride, so some will write zinc chloride like this. Is this how you write zinc chloride? No. You need to remember that zinc has got a valence of 2, chlorine has got a valence of 1, then they cross. Now, what makes you to do this? It is page 15, topic 2 KLB, page 15 radicals. Will give you all the elements which are not in the first 20. We have a few of them. We have barium, we have zinc, we have copper. All of these ones, they have the valence of 2. All of the majority of them, except only iron, which has got iron 2 and iron 3. But all of them, they have a valence of 2. Yes, they have a valence of 2, all of them. The elements which are not in the first 20 elements that we use, they normally have 2 valence, unless it is iron, which you will be told if it is iron 2 or iron 3. So this one they exchange, and we will have zinc as zinc chloride. There is 2 here because of the valence of zinc. So I'm saying that these subjects are the simplest, like I am telling you, and you are feeling like how. They are, maths and chemistry are the simplest, are the boosters. The problem is that you cannot build a story house, nyumba ya ghorofa, when there is no foundation, when there is no first ghorofa ya kwanza. You cannot. So these are the basics information which you left, and if you want to do well in maths and chemistry, you need to go back to the foundation and build up the foundation. And once you build up the foundation, then you will not struggle to understand chemistry. Majority of the learners struggle to understand chemistry because they do not have the basic information. The basic information is understanding some few topics in Form 1 and in Form 2. Now Form 2, you need to understand very well topic 1, and topic 1 is the atom and the structure of the atom. Then topic 2, which is the chemical families. Here you will talk about the chemical families, that is the alkali metals, the alkaline earth metals, the halogen family, the noble gases family. After you have studied all of those, you go to the third one, bonding, the bonding and the structure. Then finally salts, that is the 4th topic in Form 2, which will make chemistry the most simplest on earth. Just understand the first 4 topics in Form 2, first 4, and the last 3 in Form 1. Struggle to get the knowledge of that. Then your chemistry in Form 3, your chemistry in Form 4 will be just a revision, and indeed it is a revision. When we talk about radioactivity, which is the last topic in Form 4, radioactivity depends on topic 1 in Form 2, because we are going to talk about radioactivity, what is the isotopes. It is in here in Form 2, topic 1, we talk about isotopes. What are isotopes? Because we are talking, it is the isotopes that we are going to understand the chemistry in Form 1, like I have given you, and the chemistry in Form 2. And you will find that mathematics, the previous topic for you to understand the next topic, you must understand the previous topic. And as you realize that all the topics have been arranged chronologically, is such that if you miss the first topic, it is going to be difficult for you to understand the third. Like we have statistics 1, statistics 2. You don't know statistics 1, how will you understand statistics 2? We have many topics which have 1 and 2. You miss the previous one, the preliminary, you miss everything. So, and you realize that majority of the students who have difficulties in understanding this topic, this chemistry and maths, are the absentees. Those who don't come to school every day. Those who have, for whatever reasons it is whether it is school fees or whatever it is. But if you don't come to school every day, you miss a topic, you miss the rest. That is the fact. That is the bitter truth you need to swallow and know how it is. So I've given you the tips on how to do it. Remember to share this video. Share it. How do you share? Hapa chini kuna arrow. Just click the arrow and share to wherever you want to share it to. Thank you. Have a good day.